Hey, and welcome back to another lecture. This week we'll be talking about first of 2 weeks of one of my favorite genres of television. Of course, this is reality television. You've probably already seen that since you're reading this in the module. But reality TV is a absolutely fun genre that we should be aware of now in our society. Reality TV is present everywhere. It wasn't always the case. And it was a lot harder to do when TV first started to get into reality television. Reality television really what we're used to today as far as the Kardashians, Survivor, The Bachelor, Housewives shows aren't necessarily where it started back in the 1950s and 1960s. And in fact, the first instances of reality television really were shows that began in the 1950s and 1960s and were prank shows. They were shows that, like a show like Candid Camera, that involved recording people without them knowing it and then revealing the things that were happening without their knowledge. Also, there was a lot of shows where the audiences of the TV show participated in a panel show or in the TV audience. People were brought in from the audience and interviewed. All of these things were all because of the limitations of the cameras. We couldn't go out to an island back in the 1950s and 60s to record a bunch of people playing a game show, but we had to do it inside the studio. Let's start off with a hidden camera show. Candid Camera was started in 1948 and ran through the 1970s. Alan Funt was the host of this show, and it was a hidden camera format that placed everyday people in unexpected, funny situations where there's multiple examples on the page, but we're gonna watch one or two. So let me share my screen. Let's jump into this right here.
On the right hand of your screen is Jimmy of our staff, and Bob is on the far left. The three folks in the center haven't the slightest idea that things are going to begin to fly any moment.
Kids from every part.
Yeah. What numbers are yours?
X,
Are they all
B,
the same?
no? X, B, and A, Pop. A and E.
Which one is this? This is the one I think you put down. You can get it off them. It'll wash out, I think.
No, that comes out easy. If you have a toilet, you just need, I'll take you in, you've got a napkin, I'll wipe the back out. But I don't know, you gotta do it fast. Sometimes it dry quick. When it comes back, Aspen. Better than that. Don't set a fight here now. You're gonna spot out.
This counts. Where's Wendy, right? Right through that little glass.
So, nope. Every time I do this, let me. All right, it's playing something else. Okay, so Alan Funt was the host of this show, and Candid Camera. Of course, they didn't know they were being filmed until after. And then the catchphrase is "Surprise, you're on Candid Camera," and the people will be like, "Oh, I know this show. That's funny. Oh, great! I got hit by a bunch of pies." So that's a really fun one. We have a couple other good options on the class page that I want you to watch. Just really fun. Alan Funt surprised, a surprise game show. That's always the thing to think about when, I don't know, questions come up on to the final. We also had some other fun shows like this, but realistically, another great example of these hidden camera and talent shows would be What's My Line? What's My Line is a show that really people had to figure out what their job was, and it was an interesting show to check out. Let me pull up a example of What's My Line, and we will. Sorry, let me share it right now. What's My Line is a black and white show. We basically ask questions to figure out what their job was. Audience participation as well as celebrity involvement. Let's take a look.
Two, let's see what you can do with the second challenger. Will you come in and sign in, please? Peter J. Lo Magistro? What? Is that right? Yes. And Mr. Lo Magistro, where are you from?
I'm from Elmwood, Long Island.
Elmwood, Long Island?
Enwood, Long Island.
Enwood, Long Island. Fine. Well, I think perhaps then you're almost a neighbor to the panel, but meet the panel, if you will. And panel, will you meet Mr. Lo Magistro? No, you don't have to go see them. You know how we keep score, Mr. Lo Magistro? Sit you down right. You want to sit over where I am? No, I don't mean it to me. All right, then let's let the folks in the audience and our friends at home know what your line is. Panel, Mr. Lo Magistro is salaried, and let's begin the general questioning with Eamon Andrews.
Well, do you mind if I call you Peter?
Right.
You look a very happy sort of a character. Do you, by a kind sort of person, do you deal in services at all?
I do.
Well, I'm glad you said, because last week I asked a charming lady the same question, got a 6-page no from John, haven't been seen since. These services that you perform, to borrow a line from Dorothy or Eileen, would I enjoy them?
Definitely.
And could you do these services for either of the two young ladies in the panel?
I most certainly could.
Now I know why you look so happy to do these services for either the ladies or for myself. Would you have to touch any one of us?
I would not.
That's one down and 9 to go, Miss Francis.
You work for a profit-making organization as long as you have all this fun, don't you, Mr.
Correct.
Yes?
That's true.
Do these people come to you for your services?
They do.
They do.
You don't have to solicit them?
Oh, no.
Yes, he does.
They search you out, do they? If they want you, they find you.
Actually, Yeah, actually, I'm afraid, Arlene, you have made that question so particular by using the phrase search you out that I must, in all fairness to the panel and to our guest, give you a no. That's 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Cerf.
All right.
Mr. Lomagistro, I don't think we've established whether you work indoors or outdoors, have we?
No.
Is your work done more outdoors than indoors?
No.
That's 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Done indoors.
Going to get 1 yes. Do you work in an enclosure?
I do.
Is it on the ground rather than at sea or in the air?
Right.
Do you use your hands at all in your work?
I do.
If you don't touch the people who come to you, do you touch some things?
I do.
Are they something amusing?
Correct.
Do they move about?
Do what move
The things
about?
he touches.
The things he touches?
No.
Are you now meaning move from one place to another?
No, just do they move or vibrate or shake or rattle or roll or...
Well, I would say that if you will accept that almost anybody who makes use of some inanimate object in performing a service may make some part of it move slightly, then things move about. But if you mean it in another context,
I don't,
then you would have
John.
to tell us about it.
All right. Are these things solid rather than liquid?
The things that move about?
The things he touches. The things that Peter, if I may call you Peter, touches, are they solid? Ma'am?
They are.
Okay. Are they not electrified?
Now, do you mean by not electrified, does he get an electric shock if he touches them?
Well, are they
Or does
just
he-
something that you can have around without having it plugged in and it's still working?
What? Yeah, that's true. That's fine, yeah.
Oh,
Say
it's
no,
electric.
loud and clear.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Andrews.
Well, I don't know where I am. I mean, the things bump around in the night, and you've got to hardly know for not searching them out. So, and yet people come to you. This confuses me. So you're in an enclosure. Perhaps the enclosure moves around. Perhaps you have some sort of a vehicle or transportation that offers a service to people, and they come to you in the vehicle.
Is that your question, Amy?
The way you're looking at me, I don't think it should be my question.
Well, it is. 5 down and 5 to go, Miss Francis.
May I rule out that anything of Mr. Lamagistro's is animate?
Anything of Mr. I don't know, he may have...
That he deals with?
Well, you mean outside of people?
Yes, I mean, whatever it is, Dorothy substantiated the fact that he deals with something, that he touches something.
That's something which he touches is inanimate.
Is inanimate.
Yes.
Is this something that you touch? Is it something you give to somebody else?
The thing that he touches, is that something he gives to somebody else? No, the thing that he touches is not something he gives to somebody else, right?
That's
6
correct.
down and 4 to go, Mr. Cerf. I'm going to give you 1 more minute.
Are you
because
being a
don't seem
bit
to get-
tricky, John? Is the thing that Peter touches applied to someone else? Some kind of an instrument or weapon or titillating thing that is applied to somebody else?
Well, I would say this, that there is an element of application here in the performance of the service insofar as it's necessary for Peter to have contact with the inanimate something which moves that he touches.
That helps a lot. Is your work in the field of either athletics or entertainment?
Entertainment.
Thank you.
What am I going to do?
Do people pay to see you, Peter?
They do.
They do. Does what you do require dexterity, physical dexterity?
It does.
Since we must accept, Peter, that the question here would require a degree of dexterity above and beyond the norms of normal application, we'll give him a no. 7 down and 3 to go, Miss Gilgallen.
Do you work in New York City?
I do.
Here again now, Dorothy, I just don't want you to be misled. Now, what do you mean by New York City?
You include.
You mean the
You want the truth?
Yeah.
I meant Manhattan, but I suppose it includes Greater New York, all the boroughs. Is that what you mean, Peter? I'll accept that.
Yes, you got it.
All right. Do you work in any sort of an amusement center or amusement park?
I do.
Well, is it one of those things where there are pinball machines and Pokerino and you put dimes in and nickels?
Where I work?
Yeah.
No.
That's fine. I'll give you 15 seconds to see if you can get it.
Well, he sounds to me like a professional pickpocket.
A professional pickpocket?
Yeah.
That's 9 down and 1 to
But
go.
does he have something to do with, like the tunnels of love and those things at Palisades Park? No. I'm romantic.
You're getting close now, but we've run out of time.
Blows the wind on people.
Actually, Mr. Lamagistro operates what they call a skirt-blowing machine at the Rockaway Playland Amusement Park, and that's where you can find him if you wish to search him out. There you are. Thank you very much, Peter. We had lots of fun. We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first here is a word from our alternate sponsor.
All right, and of course, the ultimate sponsor was Kellogg's. If you didn't notice that on the thing there, a job where you blew people's skirts up. Wow, what a time they lived in. What a job. Guy wore a suit, and yeah, it was a guessing game. Celebrities tried to guess. It was basically answering questions. That was the whole show. It was weird. Regular people, and the reactions were funny based off of that. Yeah. So that was basically the 1950s. Let's move into the 60s and the 70s, where reality television moved away from hidden camera and talent shows and more to like the observational shift. And this is kind of more of the idea of the documentary style TV shows. And really, in 1973, The American Family was cited as the first true American reality series as a PBS documentary that followed the daily lives and eventually the breakup of the Loud family in California. It documented this one family. We're going to watch part of the first episode here right now and then have analysis, but I have the whole episode up for you to check out in addition. But let's just watch, I don't know, about 2 or 3 minutes of the very beginning. I'm going to share my screen and let's take a look.
Produced in New York by WNET. During the next hour, you will see the first in a series of programs entitled An American Family. The series is about the William C. Loud family of Santa Barbara, California. For 7 months, from May 30th, 1971 to January 1st, 1972, the family was filmed as they went about their daily routine. There is no question that the presence of our camera crews and their equipment had an effect on the Louds, one which is impossible to evaluate. It is equally true that the Louds had an effect on us, the filmmakers, for this was a cooperative venture in every sense of the word. The Loud family, like all families, has a history. Their ancestors came from Ireland, England, Germany, and Scotland to settle on the eastern seaboard and in the Midwest. Near the turn of the century, these families began moving, like the frontier, slowly westward. What were they looking for? Like most of us, I suppose, they were looking for better business opportunities, better places to raise children, better places to live. For both Bill and Pat Loud's families, the search ended near the little town of Eugene, Oregon, where Bill was born in 1921 and Pat was born in 1926. Bill Loud and Pat Russell were married in 1950. Like their parents before them, still looking for the same basic things, Bill and Pat moved from Eugene in 1962. But unlike their parents, they could no longer move west. The frontier was gone. So with their 5 children, they moved south to Santa Barbara, California. The population of Santa Barbara is somewhere around 73,000. Located on the slope of the Santa Ynez Mountains, Santa Barbara faces south on the Pacific Ocean, 90 miles north of Los Angeles. Driving time, an hour and a half. Flying time, 20 minutes. The average daytime temperature in Santa Barbara is 78 degrees in summer and 65 degrees in winter. This is the setting for our series. This is the home of the William C. Loud family. The Louds are neither average nor typical. No family is. They are not the American family. They are simply an American family.
All right, we'll stop it right there. It was a documentary, so it was filmed on with film cameras and processed. I love our narrator and host. They're just explaining what's going to be happening in the show. We got to see the intro where we introduced all the family, and then we noticed that the word family actually has a shatter in it. This is a documentary that focused on the Loud family, and ultimately they end up breaking up in the middle of the documentary. So drama there. 1970s, it feels like the 1970s. Definitely feels. I always think like film in the 70s has this like sweaty and orange vibe to it. And we can feel that with this documentary. Now, the next one that I want to look at actually comes from England. It's a movie series, but basically reality, and it's following actual people. And this is the 7 Up series. Now, the 7 Up series followed a group of children. And they picked these children. And then the premise is every 7 years, they would check in on these children and see how their lives have changed. So the show went 7 Up was the first one, then 14 Up, then 22 Up, 29 Up, and so on and so forth. We're gonna just watch the trailer for 63 Up, which is from 6 years ago. So it means that 70 Up is coming next year. They'll have been doing this documentary series for 70 years. Pretty crazy. But let's take a look. I'm going to share my screen.
In 1964, Granada Television brought together a group of 7-year-olds. We have followed their lives every 7 years, their dreams, ambitions, and fears for the future.
7 years older, 7 years fatter, a bit less hair.
You look at me at 7, and you look at me even now at 63. It's flown by, Michael.
It's a lifelong achievement to be part of this programme. Once you get to your 60s, it all gets a bit, how long have we got now?
I certainly don't look forward to it every 7 years. I suppose as you get a bit older, you've got less to lose.
All these things that I've said over the years, yes, it has been worth it. And you better cut it, because otherwise I'm going to cry.
The moment of pure joy in my life was when my son was handed to me when he was born.
There's just no place for regrets. Well, maybe one regret is probably would have liked more children.
There's various things that I can do, they can't do. They can't change a light bulb, but I can't get on Netflix.
When we started at 7, most women were in the kitchen.
Did you meet enough men before you decided who to marry?
I thought that was actually an insulting question. You didn't have any idea of the changing role of women. And I want you to go, "Rah!"
Children inherit something from their parents.
Nobody wants to confess that they suffer mental ill health.
I'm sitting here talking to you now. I'm squirming. I want my life to have meant something.
The sooner you understand who you are, the sooner you understand what you can do. It's taken me virtually 60 years to understand who I am.
I'm still the same little kid, really. Probably all of us are.
Cheers!
But still plenty to do. It's not all over yet.
Fun to get to see all the transitions from the black and white to color. Still going on today. They'll keep going as long as these people are living. Yeah, absolutely. It's a British TV show, but an excellent example of reality television. This documentary series that just follows these individuals and checks in, interviews them, and asks them what their fears and their lives are like, and really a great series to check out that gives us a insight into not just British culture, but like human experience from all the way in the 1950s till now, seeing how much or how little things have changed through the lens of strangers that we don't know, but we feel like that we know them because we've been watching them or we watch their experiences throughout their lives. All right, let's jump out of this era of reality television and let's jump into well, before we do, I do want to say that I have clipped some Real People. Real People is just a documentary series that focused on different type of people. It's in the video clips. I recommend you watching it. And they're like 6 or 7 minute shorts that aired on television that went in, and it was just kind of a documentary style of getting to know a person. But we're going to jump into the 1980s and 1990s and talk about competition and real life drama. We're talking about shows like That's Incredible, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, The People's Court, Cops, America's Most Wanted, and High Risk. These are all shows that kind of focused on either a competition or we're learning more and more about what other people's lives were like. So I want to start with That's Incredible, a show that really highlighted people's talents. So let's take a look at this one.
Tonight, you'll be seeing incredible stories like these.
These three young men are video game champions. Tonight, they compete in the first ever That's Incredible Video Games Invitational.
I'm Fran Tarkenton. You're watching me now on ordinary two-dimensional television. Tonight on your very own set, you'll see a demonstration of three-dimensional television without glasses or special lenses.
I'm Kathy D. Crosby. Auto accidents end many lives and many careers.
A car crash nearly killed champion diver Bruce Kimball. Everyone thought his diving days were over. The notion that he could compete again, let alone win, seemed incredible.
Tonight, we go on an expedition, tracking one of the deadliest creatures in the world. And all we're taking with us is a pair of tweezers.
This skier has just suffered what could have been a fatal heart attack. He's alive today thanks only to fast action and the heroism of many.
When most people reach retirement age, they take it easy. Here's a senior citizen who's taken up weightlifting.
All this and more
tonight on
That's Incredible. At this moment, our stage looks like a video arcade, and there's a reason. Tonight, we're hosting the first ever That's Incredible Video Game Invitational. In just the last few years, video games have become a sport unto themselves, with teams, magazines, competitions, leagues, and all the trappings. Recently, they even had their own tournament.
It was a big day for Ottumwa, Iowa. Its video game tournament drew large crowds. There was a parade and all the ceremony that an important event demands.
I'm Jerry Parker, Mayor of Ottumwa, Iowa. I welcome the contestants.
Walter Day's Video Arcade has served as an informal clearinghouse for video game records. From the scores submitted to him, Walter selected the top 21 players to invite to the games. 19 of them traveled to Ottumwa at their own expense to compete.
The first order of business was to draw for position. Referees and video technicians were present to ensure that every player had a fair shot at the title. Computers would keep track of the contestants and their cumulative scores.
There were 5 events, the first of which was Super Pac-Man. This was a new video game, and contestants hadn't had too many weeks to learn this machine.
Next up, another sequel game, Donkey Kong Jr. Crowds gathered about to watch the champs as they manipulated their joysticks, taking a baby ape through a maze of vines and creatures.
Millipede was the next game, the supercharged version of the original Centipede video game.
Joust was next. Players guide warriors who sit astride flying ostriches.
This is the finals for Frogger. On your mark, get ready, set, go!
This was the last event, and competition was fierce.
After all 5 games being completed, here are the top finalists. Ben Gold.
All right.
Darren Olson. Todd Walker.
Tonight, those 3 winners have been flown here to Hollywood to compete in our That's Incredible Video Game Invitational. The first place finisher will receive a gold medal, the second place finisher a silver medal, and the third place finisher a bronze medal. John?
Okay, now there are 5 different video game events. Players must reach a target score on each game before they proceed on to the next. The first player to hit the required scores on all 5 machines and cross to our finish line is the winner. Now, all 3 players are going to start right here on Cosmos. In Cosmos, players maneuver their spaceships left and right, attempting to shoot down or avoid a barrage of alien attackers, comets, and other outer space enemies. Now, when a player racks up 50,000 points on Cosmos, he then proceeds to these machines. Come on, Fran. All right. Now, this game is called Burger Time, and the object is to make hamburgers. You control the little chef who walks around a maze of buns, burgers, and lettuce. Everything he walks over falls down a level until he stacks up completed hamburgers. But watch out. He's pursued by walking hot dogs, pickles, and fried eggs. And if they touch him, he loses a life. Now, our video champs have to score 8,000 points at Burger Time before they can move on to the next station. Next game is called Millipede, and it plays Fast and Furious. Now, down below is a tiny spaceship that is attempting to repel a massive invasion of super insects.
You control the ship as it fires to destroy spiders, bugs, bees, and most of all, the slithery, speedy millipede. If anything touches the ship, you lose a life.
Now, 90,000 is the score each player must have on Millipede before they can move on to the next game, which is Donkey Kong Jr.
In the original Donkey Kong game, a little man named Mario captured the ape known as Donkey Kong. In this game, Donkey Kong's son must swing across vines and avoid dangerous creatures, all in an effort to rescue his father.
When a player reaches 30,000 at Donkey Kong Jr., he heads for the final machine. It's a new game called Buck Rogers.
Now, the ship in the center of the screen is what you operate. You can make it dive, climb, fire, all in an effort to shoot down or avoid one spaceship after another. The course takes you through space and across alien landscapes.
Now, when a player hits 20,000 points on Buck Rogers, what does he do? Makes a dash for the finish line. And the first one across that finish line is our winner.
Those are the games, and here are our video game champions. Which one will walk away with the gold? We'll find out right after this.
All right, we're gonna stop there. You'll have to watch it if you want to know who ended up winning the great video competition. But you can see That's Incredible was a show that really did focus on reality stories and telling the stories and like stories that people didn't know of. Nowadays, we watch our TikToks and our Insta stories, and we get to hear all of the things that used to be on That's Incredible, and we learn life hacks and all these reality elements that they didn't have back then. We didn't have smartphones. We didn't have the internet. We had to watch these things to be like, oh, people play video games? That's weird. So that show was That's Incredible. All right, our next one that we're going to look at is called The People's Court. This is a drama about court shows. I mean, this is still a genre that happens today. We think of Judge Judy. The judge was actually married to Judge Judy. It was called Judge Wapner, and the People's Court settled actual crimes. The stories were real, the plaintiffs are real, and all of that is what they're going to talk about here on the People's Court. Let's take a look.
This is the plaintiff, Trudy Edwards. She claims as she was walking down the sidewalk in front of her home, the young defendant came riding towards her on his bicycle. And even though she moved out of his path, he still crashed into her, knocking her over and causing her months of unbearable pain. She's suing for $2,000 for medical bills and pain and suffering. This is the defendant, 9-year-old Richard Mango, and his father, Mark. He says he was riding on the sidewalk as his parents have instructed when the plaintiff suddenly came out from behind a brick wall and he couldn't avoid hitting her. He's accused of reckless driving. What you are witnessing is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in a California municipal court. Both parties have agreed to dismiss their court cases and have their dispute settled here in our forum, the People's Court.
Hi, I'm Doug Llewellyn, and welcome to the People's Court. This is the case of Sidelined on the Sidewalk. Now, the plaintiff says that not only was she badly bruised, but she is also very upset that the boy's hostile parents refused to pay her medical bills. The defendant's father insists that the accident wasn't his son's fault, and besides, he doesn't believe the woman was seriously hurt, and figures she just wants something for nothing. So let's find out more about this bike hits woman dispute as the litigants talk to Judge Wapner.
I know that you've been sworn. I have read your complaint, ma'am. You claim that the minor defendant... You have trouble hearing?
Yes, sir.
Were you able to hear what I said? Ooh.
Yeah, I'm trying. Go ahead.
Well,
I'm sorry.
it's all right. I want to be sure you hear me.
Okay.
My wife says that when I shout like this, I look angry. She doesn't want me to look angry. So
Well, nobody does.
Nobody does what? Like to look angry?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You say he knocked you down on his bike?
He sure did.
Okay, where?
All right, we're going to stop there. You can watch the rest online, but you can see this is the format. It's still exactly the same format. It's not a legal court proceeding. It is a reality show, not actors. Remember, they said that. But the people waive their actual trial and then make a deal to adhere to the decisions of the People's Court, aka Judge Wapner, who was a real judge, would make a determines, and that's what happened with any of the judge shows that happened today. That's what happened with Judge Judy, who's probably the most famous, still relevant person now. And interesting, Judge Wapner's wife was Judge Judy, who was telling him he looked angry. So that was fun. Okay, let's go into, I think, our last clip of the day, at least for this era. We're going to talk about lifestyles of the rich and famous, which is a show much like the show Cribs, or it's a show that just showcases what a famous person's life was like and what their houses were like and what they owned. Kardashians is sort of like what we see now, but that's telling more of their stories. We'll talk more about that next week. This is part one of reality television. Let's take a look at this very 80s and 90s show, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. People just loved watching famous culture. We're going to just jump into part of this right now. And the host's name is Robin Leach.
Celebrated possessions have been dispersed all over the world. But when we return, one final exclusive look at his treasured collection. Stay with us. It took just a few days to disperse what took Liberace a lifetime to collect. His treasured possessions are now scattered throughout the world. But it takes only two accessories to recall his legendary talent. A concert grand piano is how he made the music, and a showy candelabra illuminated his one-of-a-kind razzle-dazzle. The magnificent obsession began after he saw a movie about the life of Chopin. If the Polish composer could have a pair of candelabras, then the maestro from Milwaukee could have dozens, hundreds even. Liberace's collection eventually became the most extensive in the world. When it came to pianos, he was an equally avid collector. With 10 strings to every note, his rare Bluthner is the only one of its kind left. In his last interview, he once told us,
"This is one of my prized possessions. It's a real museum piano. It's a Pleyel, and it was played on by Chopin and Franz Liszt during their lifetime. And it is quite a collector's item." Look, man, no hands.
For the master pianist, size really didn't matter. In addition to his beloved collection of grands and baby grands, he also amassed thousands of miniature pianos from every corner of the world. Because his home turf was Las Vegas, his dazzling Nevada villa grew to become the most flamboyant of his 6 homes.
When I first moved here, it was just one little small sort of a townhouse. And I fell in love with the look of it, but then after I lived here a while, it was so small, I kept adding rooms onto it. And then it was still small, so I kept adding houses to it. I bought the next house and the next house, and then I made it all one complex.
The Vegas villa will best be remembered for one unique extravagance. Among his most treasured collections was an authentic Napoleon and Josephine dinnerware set for 12. He kept it at his nearby Tivoli Gardens restaurant.
I never really feel that I own these things. I feel that.
All right. just stop there. You can see more of that in the beginning, but this is the show known for offering you caviar dreams and basically they went through celebrities at the times and showcased it. Again, I think that a modern equivalent is Cribs, which it was an MTV show. It's probably old now, but we see um, um, uh, humans' fascination with the celebrity is one of the main factors of reality television. We saw that with the 1950s. Whose line is this? The panel are all celebrities, and then the shift in the 70s of focusing on real people. Well, we shifted back and realized like, well, celebrities are real people too, and we want to know how these rich or famous people live. So reality television is not only a reflection of society, a reflection of us as human beings, but a reflection of what we're fascinated with. I'm going to leave you there for this week. Remember, in your discussion threads, we're going to be discussing the presentation. So I want you to look and share your presentation with everybody. And next week, we're going to watch more. We're going to move past the 90s into the 2000s up until now of where we're at with reality competition shows. We'll talk about Bachelor and Survivor and The Traitors and all the fun ones coming forward. So until next week, I'll see you then.